Yeehaw! Hey, boys and girls, welcome to our next video lesson in Chapter 5, 5-5, Function Operations. So, when you see more than one function, for example, we have a linear function, f of x equals 3x minus 2, and g of x, what type of function is g of x? What type of function is g of x? Very good. G of x is a quadratic function. But I have two functions, f of x, a linear function, and g of x, a quadratic function. I can now compute operations. Operatins. Operatins is missing the O. I can compute operatins using the functions below. For example, I can add these functions. So f plus g of x would just be simply, quite simply now, take f of x, which is 3x minus 2, and add it to g of x, which is x squared minus 5. All I'm going to do now is combine like terms. 3x minus 2 plus x squared minus 5 is going to be 1x squared plus 3x. And now minus 2 minus 5 is minus 7. So there is f plus g of x. F minus g of x, you got it, is the same idea. This time we're going to subtract f of x minus g of x. So 3x minus 2 minus x squared minus 5. I'm going to dist that neg. Whoop, whoop, dist that neg. I'm going to get 3x minus 2 minus x squared minus minus is plus 5. So I'm going to have, when I'm all said and done here, do it in black, negatory x squared plus 3x minus 2 plus 5 is plus 3. Boom. There is f of x minus g of x, which is f minus g of x. Alright, you guys try these two. It's the exact same thing, but this time we're going to multiply. So f times g of x, or f of g of x, f g of x, f times g of x. We're just going to multiply them. And division, we're just going to divide them. So, let's go. F times g of x is going to be f, which is 3x minus 2, times g, which is x squared minus 5. And f divided by g of x is, it's going to be f, 3x minus 2, divided by x squared minus 5. You guys, for a bonus point, first 5 people to email me the correct FOIL of that, pretty easy FOIL. We did it back a couple chapters ago. Send me that in an email for a bonus point. And this guy down here, this actually is written fine. It's a fraction in simplest form, because if I tried to divide this, I would divide x squared minus 5 into 3x minus 2, and I can't do that because my divisor, my thing on the bottom, my denominator is already a higher degree than my numerator. So f divided by g of x is just 3x minus 2 divided by x squared minus 5. Alrighty, you guys try these ones right here. If f of x is this quadratic function, it's an x squared function, negative x squared plus 2. And g of x is 4x minus 1. 4x minus 1. You guys try doing these operations right now. I shall be right back. F minus g of x. F plus g of neg 3. So just plug neg 3 into our answer when we're all done. F times g of 2. I'm sorry. Good thing I can read. F divided by g of 2. F times g of 1. And I would suggest maybe try f before you try e. But we're going to talk about these in a couple minutes. Alright, you guys try these operations, and I shall be right back. BRB. Okay, for the first one, you should have had negative x squared minus 4x plus 3. I just did f of x minus g of x. I disted my neg, so I get negative 4x plus 1. Combine like terms, negative x squared minus 4x plus 3. F plus g of neg 3. I did f plus g. So negative x squared plus 2 plus 4x minus 1 is negative x squared plus 4x plus 1. I'm now going to take negative 3 and plug that in, and I get negative 9. Negative of negative 3 squared is neg 9 minus 12 plus 4 times neg 3 plus 1. Neg 9 minus 12 is negative 21 plus 1 is negative 20. Now there is a shorter way, or a different way that I could do this. I could take my neg 3 and plug it into f, take my neg 3 and plug it into g, and just add those two up. So for example, if I take neg 3, let me get a marker here, we'll do this in yellow, plug it into f, I get negative 3 squared, which we just said was neg 9, plus 2 is neg 7. If I take negative 3 into here, I get 4 times neg 3 is neg 12, minus 1, which is negative 13. Negative 7 and negative 13 is also negative 20. So you can find f plus g of x and then plug in negative 3, or you can simply just take the negative 3 and plug it into both f and g and add those up. The next one, f divided by g of 2. Here's f of x, here's g of x, there's f divided by g of x. Just plug in the 2. Negative 2 squared, 2 squared is 4. Negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 minus 1 is 7, so this is just negative 2 sevenths. F times g of 1 is good. I'm going to take these two things and multiply them out. When I do that, I get negative 4x to the third plus x squared plus 8x minus 2. If I take the 1 and plug it in, I get negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3 plus 8 is positive 5. 5 minus 2 is 3. And again, the shortcut, the easier way, would just be to take 1 and plug them into both of these and multiply them. Let's see what happens. Take 1, plug it into here. Negative times 1 squared is negative 1. Negative 1 plus 2 is positive 1. So let me get a marker. That's going to be 1. I'll write that right here. Times g of 1. Well, that's 4 times 1, which is 3. 4 minus 1 is 3. 1 times 3 is equal to 3. Same answer. Okay, and for these last two, f, find g of 3a plus 2, and e, find f of g of 1. I will give anybody who emails me a correct answer for either one or both of these problems. I'll give you a bonus point for each one that you get correct. So you can get up to 2 bonus points if you send me 2 correct answers. Hey, that's it, folks. Have a great night, and we shall talk to you soon.